Hello, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, Jenny. Okay, it seems we are, I can see a good amount of people. So I would say to start. So welcome, everybody. This is Delivery Group Weekly, 14th of November, 2022. We have some announcement, people off, also friends and families this Friday, the 18th. So if you plan to take it, please add it to PTO routes. We also have a policy, changing expense policy. Please read the Slack thread link to the doc, and we can go to discussion point. Amy, do you want to verbalize your point?
Yes, thank you. So you may not have all seen yet, but Fabian has been promoted and he is moving into the Director of Product for SaaS Platforms position. So I've shared the Slack thread, which has a little bit more context, but just for things that affect us directly in delivery. As part of this move, what that hopefully means, what I think it means, what I hope it means, is that we will end up with an additional product manager who Fabian will hire, who will work directly with us in delivery. So this is a position that's been loosely being sort of hired for quite a few months. I think it will accelerate and hopefully get concluded pretty rapidly now that Fabian's taking this role. So we don't have any specifics yet around exactly what day-to-day that might look like, but roughly what I think we'll end up seeing from a product manager is we will have somebody who can help us collaborate with other teams. So for example, the work that I've been doing with releases for the last year, a product manager would probably take that on so we can align better with stage groups. They would probably also be able to help us work with, say, distribution on how do we get into the distribution roadmap so that we can enable changes to happen that we want to see happen. Hopefully, it also means that stage groups have a better way to come into our roadmap and we don't have quite so much reactive work going on, because product managers would be able to build a better roadmap and kind of collaborate and communicate that better than I have been doing. So we will have a product manager. I hope we won't see too much day-to-day difference, I don't think, because actually we work very well as a team. We're very, very good at sort of setting our own goals and we have really great experience. But I think what we will have is perhaps some smaller processy type changes. I think we'll see better context coming into planning OKRs, and the end result will be we can actually build out a better roadmap for like, how do we turn this into a deployment platform, right? So it's not just reactive issues, but we actually can move towards those things. So Fabian, I expect you'll start to see around quite soon. I know he's got some handover stuff to do, but I expect he will, you'll start to see him asking questions and being around. And as I say, hopefully we'll also hire a dedicated product manager to work with us as well. So does anyone have any questions either about Fabian's role or general product management or what this might look like?
I have a question.
Okay. Yeah,
that I mean, I probably know the answer, but I still want to verbalize it. So depends. I don't know how is the product working now here at GitLab, right? Going in the other groups. Do we expect usually to have OKRs that are like coming from product only, or still being like engineering driven OKRs?
Great question. So we will continue to collaborate on this. So even in the stage groups, they do the same. What we will see is, whereas this year we had beginning of the year, Marion did most of the work to set the kind of direction, and then we've aligned to the platform's direction and sort of set our own OKRs. What we will see is more Fabian taking that role, and I think we'll have more context coming in. So for example, like stage groups are going to expect this thing to happen in Q2, for example, like visibility like that. I would hope we will start to see. but I don't think we will certainly not be doing less of any of the input that we've been doing. I just hope we'll have better data to help us make those decisions.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I hope so to get kind of like building synergies with other teams and be able, to have like a roadmap that are like tied together. Because otherwise, sometimes you feel like we work into a piece, we have a deliverable, and then this deliverable needs to stay as is for the next quarter or 2 quarters before it's going to be like reusable and bringing value to someone, right? So looking forward to that. Thank you, Amy.
And I think one thing which we sort of consistently see is other teams not quite knowing what we're working on or the value of what we're working on or kind of the timeline. So an awful lot of what the product manager will be actually understanding what we're doing and going and helping other people to see the same value. So it won't just be that we will change, it will also be they'll align with us and help explain that to other people as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, good stuff.
Anyone else has other questions around having a product manager? It doesn't know. Release managers, actually, Ruben.
Hi, so let me just share my screen. So I think this week, can everyone see my screen? Okay, I think this week we forgot to mark the blockers on this chart, but we didn't have many blockers as well, I think. I can't remember any during my time. So I think there were just 2.
I believe Graham had at least 1 change request as well.
Okay. Change requests, I think, have not been added. I can add that here and then we can see
that
it
would be helpful
on Wednesday. So otherwise we had these 2 incidents, which only blocked production for 4 hours. So last week was relatively good, I guess, if the CRs didn't block us for a very long time. Even from the not promoted packages, it looks like last week was pretty good. Okay, so deployment frequency has stayed normal. We didn't touch the maximum of 9 per day, but that might also be due to executing the post-deployment migration pipeline, because I think that also counts as a deployment. Lead time seems to be good. Last week, we stayed below median is 16 hours.
How did this happen in the beginning of the week?
Did we have any holidays in the beginning of the week or end of last week?
No, usually in Mondays we have stuff accumulating for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But it was November 7th, right? So
7th, yeah. I'm not sure. And even the previous week at the end, we didn't have a jump. 3rd, what was the end of the previous week? 4th was the end. So like there was no jump here. I'm not sure.
That's strange. Looks like kind of no one merged anything November late afternoon.
Was it a holiday?
Oh, was the US holiday maybe? Yeah, it was an US holiday, and because Starbucks showed up and say, "Oh, I forgot that I should have taken the day off." Yeah, so yeah, that's explained. So it's all because of US people. Now we know why we have this big jump on Mondays.
The last jump was on 31st. 31st was 2 Mondays back. Okay.
Yeah, okay, this makes sense, right? Because we do basically things that get merged into America's afternoon tend not to be deployed, and they go on the Mondays. But the what is the lead time for changes is counting from the merge event to the deployment, and so it counts all the weekend in between. And this is normal. So when we have a weekend or we have family and friends days, things like that, we see the big bump. But this is actually a good representation of a US only holiday.
Well, I think the holiday was on the 11th, right? So I don't know if that would have accounted for the 4th to the 7th.
You're right. It was this Friday, not the previous one. Then I have no idea why this happened.
And this entire week has somehow stayed below the median. I don't know. I think we had discussed once before that it would be nice to see like how many AMRs get merged after the last deployment on Friday or before the first deployment on Monday.
Yeah,
that would
having
be
some
useful.
numbers, not only the time. I'd say how many
Yeah.
merge requests. Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point.
This we've already seen. Yeah. So any questions? If not, we can stop sharing.
Thank you, Ruben.
It's not allowing me to stop sharing. One second.
I stop it for you.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Anything else someone wants to bring up on the recording? I take it as a no.